Dude. Fish on.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy Tuesday to you. It's a Taco Bell Tuesday, and it's a Tust Tuesday here at BroncoNationNews.com. Jay is back from Eugene. He looks crystal clear, and it's just perfect to have you on the screen there, Jay. I thought you were in like the moon or something with that hotel Wi-Fi you had there. You take Wi-Fi for granted sometimes when you travel on the road these days. Always fun, but Jay is back, looking better than ever, and we appreciate you for checking us out here on a Tuesday edition of Bronco Nation News Live. Jay, I joked about it, but you were gone for a week. You've been back. The family hopefully remembers your name. How you doing, man?
How's that my fault? It's the first part of the show.
I didn't see whose fault it was. I just
whatever. Anyways, I'm back. Eugene was awesome. We actually stayed in a cool little spot, but the Wi-Fi there was absolutely awful, and so it presented more problems than just doing this show.
Oh man, I can imagine. Get back to your hotel room trying to get some stuff uploaded or get work done. Oh man.
Yeah. It's been a couple years, so you do understand, but uploading video is a lot different than just uploading some words. Not, I want to say some words, I want to be degrading there, but you know what I mean. It's a little more different. So but we made it work, and thanks for your patience.
No problem. Happy. It was great. We could hear you fine, which is the most important thing. Everything was good, all good. You could have just said, heck with this, I'm working, I can't even do it. So the fact that you were willing to still get up and make both days work, we were super appreciative of that. Gonna be completely honest, we don't have much to talk about today. It's a weird week. We got 4th of July coming up on Thursday, so we've got kind of a hodgepodge. If you've ever had a question you wanted Jay Tust to answer, today is your day. We'll do a little press conference Tuesday with Jay Tust here, but did want to touch on a couple topics. We'll see how long the show goes, and then Jay, I'm hoping for your help and the audience's help. I wanted to, on the fly here on a live broadcast, test out some new equipment. I keep upgrading the equipment, and again, I'm probably biting off more than I can chew, but I have purchased a new video mixer here. Look at this thing.
Sweet.
Nice little $600 investment for BNN. So thank you to your subscriptions and your sponsorship dollars for helping this out. I don't know why it is, and I'm hoping we can make this work. But for whatever reason, when I do these live broadcasts at these media days and things with the upgraded cameras that I have, when I switch from one to the next next camera is blurry for a couple of seconds. And I believe this mixer. So it's a long story short, instead of having 3 cameras going straight into my laptop, I now have the 3 cameras going into this mixer, and it just sends one feed back to StreamYard. I do all the switching of the cameras from this box. I know you know what I'm talking about, but for folks out there, I'm hoping that that alleviates the issue with the transitions being blurry for a couple of seconds till it I don't know what the issue was, but I think I fixed it, at least on the preview monitor. I don't see any kind of blurriness, but we'll find out on the broadcast. Maybe we'll give it a shot here before we're out of here if it works or not. But I am it's crazy, Jay. I mean, I'm making preparations and testing all the equipment, everything. I mean, 1 week from right now, I'll already be down there. Do we know yet? Are you going to be able to go? How's the arm?
I'm going to give it a go, but
right.
We will be en route next Tuesday. So
yeah, we'll have to swap days maybe. Johnny and Prater are actually flying down Monday night with me, and they are doing their show there on Tuesday. So maybe we can, if you can find time on a Wednesday or a Thursday, or we can swap it around. One of them can maybe do Tuesday out by the pool with me.
Cool.
I love how we're just doing show business on the air live here. But yeah, we will make it work. But yeah, you get to drive again. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
You may have driven from Boise to Vegas more than anyone in the history of the world.
I would love to know, outside of like a trucker, but like that's their profession, right? So outside of that, I would love to know who has made the trip to Vegas more times than me. I'm not kidding when I say it. I must have driven that thing 30, 35 times in my time here.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I think I'm approaching 40 times going to Vegas, but I have never made the drive once.
Yeah.
No chance, man. Not once. No chance.
Wow.
No chance.
Good on you.
I mean, when you're your own boss, you can make some things like that happen. But I just don't even. I mean, I know you guys have a lot of equipment, and I guess that's what it comes down to. And two people versus one. But from the time commitment standpoint, I mean, I'll take the hour and a half flight any day of the week.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, but yeah, we do have quite a bit of equipment and stuff like that. So.
Well, when you're watching KTVB on Tuesday night and they literally pulled into Vegas 10 minutes before their live shot, and
they did pull into Vegas 10 minutes before.
Oh man, yeah. Hope folks realize the work you guys are putting in. So it's going to be a small contingent down there from the Boise media. This will be, I think, the first year ever. My understanding is neither local newspaper is heading down to Mountain West Media Days. So it'll be KTVB, and it'll be BNN, and it'll be KTIK, and that'll be it. So the three outlets that you, I hope by now, traditionally have turned your attention to following for Boise State news, I think now proving it again, the only ones down there at Media Days next week. So it'll be a smaller contingent, which may mean we get some extra time with Spencer and some of the players and stuff, Jay.
Yeah. Do you know the setup? Are they still grouping it all together? Have they said? I
haven't heard about that. I haven't heard about that yet. No.
It took a while to release all the names. I kept the Mountain West Media page just kind of browser open.
I beat you by an hour. I refreshed it before you did.
I mean, I bet you've been doing that too, because I just kind of kept it open, waiting for it. And it just said, names to be released at a later date, and then finally it popped up yesterday. So, yeah. But Jonah Dalmas and Ahmed Hassanin, and dude, okay. It's not uncommon for a special teams player to go to Mountain West Media Days. It happens. But Jonah Dalmas is the only one this year. And I really do believe he's the first, since at least I'm not going to go back to WAC because I wasn't here for the WAC Media Days, but since Mountain West Media Days has started,
well,
he's the first special teamer from my understanding.
Want me to let you in on a little secret here, Jay?
Yeah.
You know how I have crazy ideas. Most of them are really crazy and dumb and don't work out. But once in a while, I have a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that Jonah, and let's keep this in the BNN family here. Don't be putting this on social media and stuff. You have to watch this show here to know this. But when I saw that Jonah Dalmas was coming to Media Days, my first thought was he needs to kick a field goal out at Stadium Swim.
Yeah.
We need to have something happen outside at Circa that could go viral. And not a humble brag, whatever, but I have a relationship with the owner, Derek Stevens, of the casino. I sent him a text message yesterday saying Boise State is sending their kicker, who is 18 field goals away from breaking the record to Media Days.
Mm-hmm.
It would be pretty cool if we could do some sort of outdoor kick that could maybe go viral or have something happen. And I think it might happen. There is a multiple options being discussed, one of which is a parking garage across the street, which is about the same height but a little bit higher.
The Garage Mahal.
Yes, the Garage Mahal. And there's an opportunity potentially for Jonah Dalmas to go to the top of Garage Mahal and kick a 50-plus yard field goal into the pool at Stadium Swim. I think if you go from one side of Stadium Swim to the other, it's actually pretty far distance from one owner's suite to the other. So maybe there's an opportunity to rent some sort of field goal posts or a smaller target that he can try to aim for. Their plans are in the works, Jay, to for Jonah Dalmas to try to go viral and do some sort of trick kick or special kick out at something to do with Fremont Street, Stadium Swim. They even talked about Legacy Club, literally the 60th floor, kicking one off the top of the top of Circa Casino down somewhere. But
dangerous.
Probably could be. Yeah. That was one of the things that he mentioned. But so plans are in the works. It's only a week away. We'll see if they can pull it off. I know Boise State is intrigued by it when I had possibly mentioned it to them. So we'll see, but that would be pretty cool. I mean, they have a thing on opening day where that Greg Maddox lives in Vegas, and they set up I don't know if you've ever seen this, but on like the last couple of years, they've set up a mound and a home plate like in the front of the sports book. And Greg Maddox throws out the first pitch of the baseball season at Circa. And so that was what made me think about it. And so maybe the first kick of the football season or something, I don't know, or however they can do it. But Jonah Dalmas may be coming to a sports center near you if they can pull off something with a pretty cool trick shot or kick out at Stadium Swim. But so they're working on it. So hopefully they can pull it off. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would agree. That sounds like it'd be neat, man.
You're bringing a kicker down to media days, and he's going, and not only just any kicker, he's a great sense of humor, great dude, and he's approaching the NCAA college record. You got to try to lean into that and play off of that and try to have something cool happen. I will say this, Jay. Ahmed Hassanin, perfect choice, going to be great. Happy with it. But if you went Dalmas, I would have had no problem at all if they would have gone James Ferguson Reynolds also. Just lean into the whole special teams thing. You've got maybe the best special teams in the country. We talked about it at some point in the last couple of weeks that I would have been perfectly okay. All right, kind of jokingly said, why don't you send both the specialists? Ahmed certainly deserves it. Happy he's going. He'll do a great job. But if they would have, and again, usually when you send your specialist to media days, Jay, it means you're not very good.
Yeah.
I understand that, but this is one of those unique, weird years where you have the best punter in the nation, maybe the best kicker in the nation, and they're both have great backstories and great dudes. And I think you could have just made that the story. But when you're going for a CFP bid and you're the Mountain West favorites, maybe if you're San Jose State or somebody, you could have pulled that off. But if you're going for the CFP and you're the Mountain West preseason favorite, you probably couldn't get away with sending both specialists.
Probably not. Also, typically, Boise State will favor the senior, right? Ahmed's out of eligibility after this year. James Ferguson Reynolds still has eligibility next year, so he still has a chance to attend a Mountain West Media Days in his future. And I know where you're going here with that, BJ. So I'm not. It's not like I'm even being critical or whatever. But with Ahmed, he needs to get his name out there. He needs recognition. He needs to get in front of media and start to build his own type of hype, because he did have 12.5 sacks last year and 16.5 tackles for loss, and was that dynamic game changer. Great personality. Great story. And so he's a guy that does need to get down to Vegas and get in front of people and get his name out there for sure.
Yeah. So I think Ahmed's a great choice. I think Jonah's a great choice. And again, stay tuned for possibly some sort of fun thing at Circa with Jonah. And Jay, I had this crazy idea that I thought was crazy. I said about him, I think I'm going to be the first to say that I said it. I know you said it, but I'm going to take credit for it if it happens. I said they should bring Ashton Jeanty down to Vegas anyway. I said it makes sense. Make that part of he's a Heisman candidate. He's part of the story. Whether you set up a Mountain West, backdrop at the D and make it, look like the other room, or whether you just lean into it and do it out on Fremont Street next to the, homeless guy asking for money. I mean, however you want to do it. I think that Ashton Jeanty deserves to be at media days, and you can't be there because he's not 21. And I guess all I'll say is I've been told that idea is not dead. So I think they are still behind the scenes, maybe seeing if there's a way to pull it off. Again, you're talking about a long day for Ashton if he flies down and flies back for a 20-minute interview. But if you're Boise State and you're trying to get some national attention here, I mean, literally doing his media availability out on Fremont Street, I think would be unbelievable. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I guess I've been told that my idea wasn't as crazy as I thought, and it might not be. Nothing is set in stone, but it might not be 100% dead yet. At least, as that is a possibility.
Don't do Fremont Street. It's
So
loud.
TV. I understand that, but that's part of the. Okay, that's fine. But we can interview him anytime here in Boise. So if you're going to make him go to Vegas, I don't think it makes sense to have him stand behind a Mountain West backdrop at the D. I think if you're going to do it, you got to have it somewhere outside or somewhere where it shows the craziness if they brought him all the way down here and he can't get in the casino.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Do it by the guy taking the valet when Jay Tust gets out of his limo right in front of Circa. Right? Why don't you do it right there?
So much of Media Day sound is like something we like save and use at a later date, right? And it's going to be so dated if he's out on Fremont Street.
The Ashton Jeanty stuff, I feel like, is a different story. That is the story that day that he came all the way down to Vegas and can't get inside the door. So here he is right outside the door doing the interview.
Well, that's our story, though.
I think that would be the Sports Center story. Like, I think Scott Van Pelt would like put that on Sports Center. Ashton Jeanty, Mountain West Media Day is going on, couldn't get in the building, Heisman candidate, and here he is doing his interview outside the door.
Hey, I love SBVP and I love Ashton Jeanty, but I don't know if that when in the mix of
one good thing or whatever he does on his show. I mean, come on, best thing I saw. I mean, that's
gonna be one good thing.
I don't know, but whatever he calls it, I don't watch much Sports Center anymore. I don't know.
I love your high hopes, buddy. I hope so.
Well, I guess I'd be fine if they did. The D is their sister property at Circa, and they, you don't have to be 21 to get in there. So they have a conference rooms. They could easily set up the exact same Mountain West backdrop, the exact same thing. Tell the media at this time you have to walk down to the D, and you can interview Ashton Jeanty. I mean, you could do that, and that would look fine. But I just think that the whole point of bringing him is that I think you lean into the fact that it's crazy that he's Heisman candidate and he's not yet 21 and can't get in the building, but we still brought him anyway. So I mean, maybe what about taking him to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign out there on the by Allegiant Stadium over there on Las Vegas Boulevard, the sign that says Welcome to Las Vegas, or what about doing it? I don't know. What I mean,
that's gonna be a little touristy. Like you're gonna have to deal with a ton of people trying to take their picture in front of that sign. But hey, I like your high hopes, brother. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I still wouldn't say it's likely, but I would say that it's not. I would just say it's not dead yet. I guess
the interesting thing to me would be to see how many other. I mean, obviously we would go, but how many traveling media members from other stations covering other teams would make the effort to go get him?
I don't think they would Uber over to the Las Vegas sign to talk to him. But I think they would walk. I think they would walk up to I think they would maybe walk up to, if it was at a special time or something. I think they would walk up to the D and interview him, or go outside.
I think that's close enough.
The front door.
That's close enough. Yep, I agree.
I mean, you need some sort of sign that says Circa. Maybe you could do it across the street where it's quiet. You mentioned Garage Mahal. Maybe one of those corners, caddy corner from Circa. You could do it where you could see Circa in the background, but it's kind of a quieter corner, a block or two away from Fremont Street. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. We lost Jay. There he is. Something going on with Blake Anderson. I don't know if you're following this story, Jay. Sky Ship saying the Utah State football coach on an admin leave from coaching duties per Pete Thamel. Wow, Thamel just said Anderson is out and won't return as head coach. Big news.
Really late in the game.
Now not apparently expected to return as coach. Oh no. Not sure what's going on there. We'll have to try to check into that as we go. Yeah, I don't know. It probably won't happen, Jay, but I say send them. Why not? I mean, come on.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'm totally there with you on that one. That'd be awesome.
All right, let's thank some sponsors here for a second. Keep this discussion going, Jay. I want to talk about the EA Sports video game too, and some of those things. And like I said, test out some of our new equipment. We'll try to get more information on Blake Anderson and his situation. But hey, Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. Check them out, roepaint.com. The concrete coating, again, your back patio, your garage, your basement. Transform the look of that ugly concrete slab in just one day with rowpaint.com. And again, all your painting needs, residential, interior, exterior, check them out, rowpaint.com. Tyson Degenhart, hope you enjoyed hearing from Dylan Anderson, the Arizona transfer on last week's show. We are working on a very big show with Tyson Degenhart being number 2, a certain football player we've been talking about being number 2, season 2, episode 2. we're working on potentially something big here on the Tyson Degenhart Show for episode 2 next week. So stay tuned. Idaho Central Credit Union presents the Tyson Degenhart Show. And again, there's an Idaho Central Credit Union pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is in your pocket with the mobile eBranch online banking. The Raines family is so happy we made the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union, and you can as well at iccu.com. Matt Bauscher Real Estate. So happy we used Matt as well, buying and selling our home. Process couldn't have been easier with Matt and his team. Kelly, Cade, Sarah, the whole crew was just so easy to work with, and we're very appreciative and happy that we went with Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. So no home is too big or too small. Any size home, Matt will help you. He'll come in, give you what he thinks needs to be done to get top dollar for your home. And once you get it ready, you sell it, and you're on your way. It was a great process. He helped us find our perfect home as well. So get ready, Jay. We're having the what do you call it? What do you call the new house party? I guess housewarming party in a couple of weeks. So we'll be having the Tust family on the guest list for
Let's
sure.
Go.
Gonna maybe even have a bounce house for the kiddos. So we'll get a little bounce house, and
well, the chances that will come just went up a little bit.
See, that's what it takes. Jay wants to be in a bounce house so bad that I just have to get one. I can get him done. But you'll looking forward to showing you off the new house. John Mallory, unfortunately, Jay is 1-0 in NBA Jam at my house. He did come over and won a game and turn around and left to keep his record perfect on the new NBA Jam arcade game that we have. So hopefully Jay can at least take down Johnny and get his perfect record off the leaderboard here. But I digress. But Matt Bauscher Real Estate, check it out. So happy and thankful for Matt. Check him out, BauscherRealEstate.com. And of course, Ridley's Family Markets. Shop Ridley's.com. Love the CUNA location, the Star location. If you're heading up to McCall for 4th of July weekend, don't, just save your eyes, save you all the meat and stuff. Don't buy it and try to fill the cooler down in Boise. Just bring the empty cooler. And when you get up to McCall, just stop at Ridley's. They have a location right there on the main drag of town there. Shop Ridley's.com. Get more information. Find the location near you. But highly recommend if you're heading up to McCall or even further north that you stop off at that Ridley's there in McCall. And they have a lot in the Magic Valley as well. So check them out. Shop Ridley's.com. Ridley's Family Markets, a big sponsor here at Bronco Nation News. All right, checking the have you seen anything on Blake Anderson? I'm trying
Pete
to
Thamel is tweeting that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hit up Pete Thamel's account. He tweeted both of those things, that he's not expected to return as coach. So yeah.
Well, my first thought is he's had some personal tragedy in his life, and I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, for sure. He has.
He's had multiple deaths in his family, and he's had a very rough go at it at times. So my first thought is that I just hope everything, is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you just that's where my first thought is. So hopefully everything is okay with Blake and his family, and then we'll find out more into kind of what happened here. But they've filled a lot of their spots with transfers, and it's been an interesting situation there.
And obviously Boise State just had a player transfer there in CJ Tiller. So
yeah, someone's saying
that happened just a couple months ago.
Yeah. So I know it's, cliche, whatever, but thoughts, with Blake Anderson, hopefully everything is okay. And that it doesn't have to do with anything personal, because he's had a really rough go with some personal tragedy in his life. Chris Ward. That's a funny message. I'll be writing you back today, Chris. Chris is with a local plumbing company. He actually does a lot of work himself, Jay. And Chris is wanting to do some advertising with BNN. So he said he stayed up late, and I won't even take his money because I didn't email him the pricings and things. So Chris, I'll be getting back to you today. I appreciate you. And let me see if I can give you a quick plug here. If I can find, I got to find, here it is. Let's see. All right, I don't want to screw it up on the fly, but Chris, I'm going to get back to you. I was going to give your business a free plug, but reach out to me and we'll get you set up. And I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you so much. We don't have a lot of open spots for advertising, but we can take one or two, and if it's the right one or two. And Chris is trying to expand his plumbing business, actually trying to hire some new folks. And I said, yeah, we can help you out. We can get you some new folks. So Jay, let's try this new equipment here for a second. What do you say? All right, so I'm going to add the one of the new cameras here to the screen here. We've got it right where am I at? I'm over here. All right. So now let's see what happens here when I do this. Oh, nothing. That's cool. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. So now we switch it to this camera. Now we switched it back to this camera. Can I do it without a, yes, there we go. All right. Is it blurry at all when we switch cameras here, JJ?
No, it looks pretty good, bud.
So far, so good. I actually have a third camera back here. How do I get to that one? There it is. There's our third camera, which I'm not even in the shot of. Nothing looks blurry so far. This is a very encouraging sign here when I'm switching from camera 1 over to camera 2 and over to camera 3. All right, maybe it's going to work. I'll check it out later. Sorry, thank you guys on the fly for checking us out here. But Johnny Ballgame says, why am I watching this? Because you're going to be on this camera next week, Johnny Ballgame, and you don't want to be blurry on the screen when I put you on there. So this might actually work. We'll figure this out. All right, Jay, I think I did it.
Let's go. Nice work, bud.
So we will. There you go. On the fly, testing out our BNN equipment for media days. And Johnny, the reason your paycheck will be a little shorter next month is this $600 contraption that I just bought here. But I think we may have we figured out the audio problems. Jay, I still go back to our first media days where half our interview with Jeremiah Dickey was on mute. But I think we have fixed the issue here. And with the audio, me and Mike Prater were out at Travis Hawk's Capitol 11 building yesterday. I know you've been out there. Heck of a building. Had a good show out there. And then I think now we have the video maybe figured out as well. So just got to get Jaden to be 21, man. Jaden is still not 21. Our great part-time employee, intern, student at Boise State. He would have been with me at media days in a second to handle all of this, but he's still only 20 years old. So
it's okay. He's at 20 now. How close?
Yes,
When's his birthday?
Close. It's in March, but it's not till after the Mountain West basketball.
No.
So he misses it once again. Yes. But Jaden, we love you. You're doing a great job. Wish there was a way I could get you to Vegas. Maybe him and Ashton Jeanty can travel down together and do the interview off to the side. But yeah, so all right, well that's good. We'll check that later. But I think that may have worked with the equipment. Jay, the EA Sports video game. There was a lot of talk about that. And again, folks, if you have a comment or a question for Jay, myself, anything you want to talk about, this is your day to probably get it in because we got media days next week. And I will throw this plug in, Jay. I think I mentioned this, but I am doing the Lindy's Magazine stories for the Mountain West basketball this year. I've added them.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I have already taped interviews with 5 Mountain West coaches. And I'm trying to find the week that we want to play those. We didn't have a show Thursday due to 4th of July. So maybe the week after media days, that might go in good because we'll have the TBT team going. So we'll be talking a lot of basketball. But I will probably have a week or two, maybe the next week as well. I think I will probably do that. The Monday after media days for football, we'll start at the end of the show maybe and play some of these interviews. But a lot of new coaches. I've talked to all 4 of the new coaches in the Mountain West. Also have talked to Joe Scott, Tim Miles, and then I've got Rick Pitino and Leon and Steve Alford recording set. One Mountain West coach who didn't want to go on camera for the interview. Who do you think that would have been?
The one Mountain West coach that
respectfully said, I'll talk to you on the phone, but I'd rather not do a video.
Dutch?
Brian Dutcher.
Wow.
Couldn't have been nicer. Called me personally. Now I've got his cell phone number, humble brag. But no, he just said that he'd be happy to talk to me for the story and for Lindy's and whatever I need, but would respectfully decline doing it on video. So I said
some of this stuff isn't for everybody.
Yeah, I said no worries. Jeremy, but yeah, so we'll have some Mountain West basketball coverage coming up in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I am knee deep.
Does it feel like the general like takeaway from these? Does it feel like everybody's? I mean, everybody should be for the most part, but I mean, the transfer portal, you still can technically get players out of it. Does it feel like everybody's pretty much done?
I think so. There's a couple, I think Fresno has 1 or 2 spots left. I think Utah State might have had
San Diego State had quite a bit of turnover, man. Like
I haven't actually done the interview yet with him, but I think they're probably going to be 3rd or 4th preseason. They've added some guys, but I mean, I don't know what's going on there, to be honest. I mean, you're in San Diego, you got the beach, you got so much to recruit to. They should be cleaning up in the transfer portal. And they got some decent guys, but they lost all 5 starters, I think, or at least close to it in either the graduation or the portal. And the guys they were averaging like, some decent guys. I think a guy from North Texas, one of the FAU guards that averaged 9 points a game. Like they got some solid players, but I mean, they should be getting I think I said this. I don't remember if it was with you or who, but I mean, like Dylan Anderson should have been like the worst of the 5 players they added. Like you should be getting just solid former All-American, McDonald's All-Americans, former 4 or 5-star guys that are just ready to explode at the Mountain West type level. Yeah, I'm a little surprised it hasn't happened there for sure.
I mean, I guess we don't know exactly like who they brought in and how they plan to use them, right? But I will say this: it's almost like their success has hurt them. I mean, to play for the national championship 2 years ago, Sweet 16 run this past year. all that success and all their experience and their additional years of eligibility, whatever was left.
I mean, Lamont Butler went to Kentucky.
Yeah, but I guarantee he's making quite a bit of money to go to Kentucky, right? Like,
I just never would have thought Lamont Butler was that type of kid to go to Kentucky. But
I kind of
talked to him, but
I guess I don't know him super well or the depths of his story. But all I'll say is that there are factors now that can really change in a hurry for some of these guys, and I think that even a guy like Chibuzo Wabo is a good example where he loved it where he was at. And it's not like all of a sudden he woke up and the only thing that changed was his change of heart. There are other factors that, you simply can't ignore these days. And so I'm assuming that was probably something that, similar to what happened with some of San Diego State's stars that still had eligibility remaining, but are now going to be playing their final year elsewhere.
I will say, though, that based on what other coaches I've talked to, they think Boise State's, at least right now, probably the preseason favorite to win the Mountain West. I've had multiple Mountain West coaches have told me that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say wow, but not really at the same time. Like,
yeah, I mean, think about it, though, like you do, like you bring back Tyson and Omar, but like, and you bring
back Tyson and Omar. I mean, that's be two.
I guess in this league, if you're bringing back two, yeah, that's true. But I mean, you are putting in a lot of new talent too that they're pretty high on, I guess, with Cardenas and. Tim Miles' interview is great. You got to watch the Tim Miles interview, folks, when we play that next week. He is you've talked to him before, Jay. He's just a funny guy, and he had a lot of great stuff to say. And they got Sada Nganga, by the way, San Jose State.
Saw that.
So
what a path for him, man.
Yes.
Boise State, Eaton Hall, and then back out to San Jose State.
Yep, and he is very high on Cardenas and said Boise State fans are going to love him. He took the high road there on that and was very nice about that. What do you think, by the way, of Roddy Anderson is going to redshirt at Xavier?
Good on him, man. I think it's a great decision. I think that he's played so much early in his career now that he'll have this chance to kind of step back and really, work on his game, work on his craft. And then his final 2 years, they should be outstanding. It should be his best yet. I think it's awesome and good for Roddy to have that patience. Great kid. Hopefully he has success at Xavier.
All right. Let's talk about the EA Sports video game as another topic I wanted to get to. Again, if you have a question or a comment about anything really Boise State or college football related, college basketball related, we have about 15 minutes here. We can try 10 to 15 minutes. We can try to knock some of this out. But there was some discussion, Jay, when the EA Sports video game came out. You want to talk about the list they were included on or the one they weren't first? Let's go weren't. The top 25 offenses. Any issue? I think by the end of the season, they certainly could have a top 25 offense. Anytime you have an Ashton Jeanty in that receiving core and that offensive line and Dirk Cutter, I think a lot of fans think they have a top 25 offense, but any issue with them actually, at least in this game, being left off the top 25 list going into the season?
Not really. I think we've already seen quite early that this game is not going to be perfect, and it's going to be awesome. Don't get me wrong. I'm so excited for it, but it's not going to be perfect. And I guess what the first thing I'll point out is how high Colorado was ranked, despite the fact they didn't even go to they didn't go to a friggin' bowl game last year, right? So, I think that the game's not going to be perfect. I'm not going to buy too much into it. There's obviously a chance that, back in the day, BJ, when this game first came out, like the edition you got was the edition you got, right? Like there were no mid-season updates or anything like that. And now that's what video games are all about. All of a sudden, on MLB The Show, Julio's struggling a little bit in real life and they knock him down from superstar status, right? In the game. So there are things like that will definitely change, throughout the course of the season as reality sets in, if you will. So I'm not too worried about that. And if anything, I don't recall there being a single group of 5 program on that top 25 list. And if there was, it probably would be Boise State because of Ashton Jeanty. It would have been interesting if Talon came back. I think if Talon did return to Boise State, I think they just jump on the end of that list. Right now, what they got going on at quarterback is just a little bit more unknown, if you will. So had he returned, I think that they do crack that top 25. As it stands right now, they're going to have to prove it, though.
All right, what do you think about the top 25 home field advantages, Boise State comes on at number 24. You look at the record, obviously, and they're much higher than 24th in career home record. But there are a lot of much larger stadiums, and I don't necessarily have a problem with them, not being number 2 or 3. I think you maybe could have had them in like 15, 16 range. But again, you also have to look at the schools ahead of them, and there's not many schools ahead of them where I'm like, oh, they definitely have a better home field advantage than them. I mean, any place that can fill a 110,000 seat stadium, like I'm going to probably lean like they're in a tough spot. And to me, 24 kind of feels like like how they used to be a lot of times in the AP ranking, where it's like the preseason ranking. It's like, oh, let's find a group of, let's put Boise State at 24. Like it seemed like most of the years I've been here, they would be in the preseason AP ranking those first 4 or 5 years, like right at 22, 23, 24, 25. Cause everyone's like, oh, I got to find a group of 5. Oh, let's just throw Boise State in there. So it almost feels kind of like that, but there's no denying they have a great home field advantage. The stats say it. But what do you make of them coming in at 24?
I think it's pretty accurate at this point. I think that had you held this poll a few years ago, that they could have been potentially a little bit higher. But, last year, you look at significant games and they've kind of had a tough time, I would say, winning those big games on the blue, the ones that they used to just always win. And you go back and they lost a defensive battle, a very winnable game last year against UCF on the blue. And it felt like that was just like a really big game at that point in time, given everything that's going on in college football, where UCF gets the invite to the Big 12 and Boise State is still on the outside looking in at the P4. The year before that, you lose the Mountain West Conference Championship game to Fresno State on the blue. Yeah, another kind of top 25 caliber opportunity against BYU, and you barely let that one slip away. And then, the year before that, they quite frankly, I mean, they weren't very good at home. They went 3-3 at home. They only won 50% of their games at home. And so I think you look at their overall tradition, the overall legacy of the blue, and it's absolutely special. But I wouldn't define these last 3 years of how they've performed at home as being absolutely special. And I know that probably sucks to hear, but it is what it is. So tons of respect for the blue. 24, I think, is a good spot right now. It means that they have the ability to climb. They also have the home schedule in front of them, where if they run the table at home this year, that's going to carry some significant meaning. And when that 26 version of NCAA football comes out, or maybe when we get that mid-year update that I was talking about, they'll be much higher than 24 if they can navigate this home schedule.
Was that just 2 years ago that they lost 3 home games in a row?
It was 21. I mean, so technically 2 seasons ago, yes. Yeah.
So it's hard to say when you lose 3 home games in a row, that right there, that was the first time since like the 90s, I think. And I know I always talk about it, Jay, but I'm sure you're the same way, but my Boise State record book, I've turned to that page 91 or whatever it is with the 1997 team and those late 90s teams more than ever in the last couple of years with all the negative things that have happened. And that was one of them, losing 3 home games in a row for the first time since the 90s. I agree with you, but like you said, certainly an opportunity this year to get back at it. The season ticket sales are higher. I mean, I think they're in a good, one of the better home schedules they've had in a while as well. Like it all adds up to this being and if they want to get to the playoff, like they may need to run the table at home.
They probably got to run the table at home, man. Like that's where you need to. It's harder to show up and be a hundo every road game, man. The travel demands, just getting out in an unfamiliar atmosphere and trying to figure it out. I know that they have a plan for that each and every road game, but at home you know the routine, and when you're in your routine, typically you perform a little bit better, a little more efficient. And so I think that if we want to talk about just restoring and getting back to the glory days of Boise State football, it almost begins and ends with going undefeated on the blue. I mean, that is something that the program takes so much pride in. That is that defines success at Boise State. And even more so than winning the Mountain West Conference title, if you can run the table at home, you're going to put yourself in a position to achieve a lot this year, especially, again, given who you host on the blue this year. You run the table at home, and then all of a sudden you are going to find yourself in a Mountain West Conference championship game, and likely, something that's even more, because the road schedule, I know you got to go to Oregon and Georgia Southern off the top, which the travel demands of that are significant, but after that, it's pretty manageable out on the road. So you run the table at home, you set yourself up for a really big season, in my opinion.
And speaking of the blue and home and all that, I don't know if you've heard differently, but my understanding is still the plan for the uniforms, maybe next Monday or Tuesday. But prior to media days, my understanding is their goal is still to make some sort of announcement on this because
getting a little antsy though. I'm not going to lie, because we are running out of days here. We got the 4th of July on Thursday.
I know, but I think it's going to be Monday or it wouldn't shock me if it's like Tuesday afternoon with the players going Wednesday. They just want to make it before that. And my understanding is, Jay, the blue jerseys have not come in yet, and so this may be the first that I can remember. But you may have the players wearing the white uniforms for media days this year. But I think the plan is for the players to have the new uniforms at media days, and then they're going to hopefully announce them the day or two before that next week. You know what? I think Scott Matlock, when it was Ojukwu and Matlock a couple years ago over at Mandalay Bay, I think one of them might have had a white jersey, because I've been watching some, man, it is crazy, Jay. I know we joke about it, but to see just where the BNN broadcasts were just a couple years ago, and I was watching some old ones trying to get some tips and improve things, and I saw an interview I did with Scott Matlock where I think he was wearing a white jersey. Either way, that everyone keeps asking about that, and that should be coming, I think, early next week.
I think they bring multiple jerseys at times to Vegas too, so yeah, either way, anything's going to be awesome. I think that, again, I remain pretty man, jerseys for the most part, you roll anything out there, and I think a majority of the fan base is going to love it. Yeah. Not everybody's going to love it, so I'm just going to get over that right now. I think that I'm stoked for the simplicity and the streamline of the color usage of the new uniforms, though. Yeah. And I think the fans are too.
The big one I want is the white numbers on the blue jerseys. I'm hoping to not have the silver gray that didn't match. It was hard to read a little bit. I don't know if you saw or not yesterday, folks, but Travis Hawks, we were at the blue and orange. We were at Capitol 11. Travis Hawks with the blue and orange store. He did say that he has seen, of course he has, the new uniforms, and he kind of described it as a fresh, kind of clean update that he thinks people will. It's not flashy. It's just kind of classic, clean, fresh. And he said he thinks that folks are really going to enjoy that. So should be coming here in the next couple of days. Boise says someone from Colorado sliding EA Cash under the table for those rankings. Crash says Colorado's ranking is hilarious. Logan Byler, it's a joke. Crash also says, hey, only group of 5 team on the list, on either list there. So just be happy about that.
Very good point for that one. Yes.
Jeremy asking how the recovery is coming from shoulder surgery or from
bicep surgery. It's coming along, man. We're getting there. We're getting close. I was originally optimistic that I would have it off in time for media days, but it's looking like it's going to be the Thursday after. So I'm a little bummed about that, but I'm continue to go glass half full. If I just got to wear it for one more week after that, it is what it is. So we're getting close. I'll find out for sure next Tuesday. Like literally, yeah. Well, I got a really early doctor's appointment that day, so I'll keep my fingers crossed.
That'll be a fun day.
Yeah.
Are we both planning to go to Statesboro for the opener? I am. I would assume you are, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Jay and I are the two that really haven't missed many games at all in the last several years. So yeah, we'll be there. I think that's a Thursday trip too, so I might be heading out Thursday.
Yeah, probably.
And I think it's a 2-stop trip for me. Oh,
yeah. I don't know.
I've been much cheaper on Southwest because we have to bring all this equipment, get the free check bags and stuff. So I think I bit the bullet, and I'm going Denver to Nashville to Savannah. I think.
Okay.
On Southwest.
Denver to Nashville to Savannah. Okay. I think
it's going in the right direction. I don't like the ones where you go to Vegas or Seattle or something to go back. Yeah. So at least I'm going in somewhat of a straight line. So I was okay stopping in Nashville since it's at least on the way.
We haven't necessarily, we haven't hammered down those details yet. I will say sometimes the you're right though. That's with Southwest, sometimes you pay a little bit more for the ticket, but you save on baggage fees. So that's definitely something that is worth considering when you make those travel plans. But our good buddy Patrick Walsh, the SID for Boise State football, has kind of been saying too that it's not, if you fly into Atlanta, it's about a 3-hour drive or something like that. I can't remember what he said. So that was
the one I was looking at. There is a nonstop, obviously, on Delta, Boise to Atlanta. You can do one flight instead of 2 or 3, but then you got to drive 3 hours. And the bigger issue for me was on Sunday.
Yeah, that's what
you want to drive 3 hours and also make a 9 a.m. flight or whatever. Yeah. It just didn't seem possible.
Yeah, that's the one that Yeah, it's not so much on the front end; it's more the back end of that thing that seems like it would be a little bit of hell. So,
all right, Jay, I have a photo that I want to put on the screen here, but I have to stall for 1 minute because I forgot to do it. Any final questions or topics while I get this ready? What do you get stall for 1 minute for me?
Stall for 1 minute for you.
Yes.
Man,
come on! Somebody ask Jay Tust a question. It's going to be worth it. Give me 1 minute to get this. Someone says if you're stopping in Nashville, you got to bring your guitar. Make sure you spend a day in Savannah. You will love it. That's where we're staying at. I think it's where you're supposed to stay. No one stays in Statesboro.
I think just overall excited to get down and kick off football season in Vegas here in a week, BJ. Like it really begins in about a week. And I don't love the fact that this thing continues to get shoved earlier into the summer, but jumping out in front of, SEC media days, I think is a good decision, because once those kick off, it feels like they just kind of dominate the headlines and the storylines for weeks. Now you kind of get to be the appetizer for all that. And so you get a couple days where, you can own the headlines and some of the attention before the SEC takes over. I believe they're up the 18th of July. So it's a few days after Mountain West Media Days wraps up. But on top of that, we always go down and get so much content for Media Days. And usually it's like you're in Vegas, you come home Thursday, and then Monday or even Sunday, whoever's the head coach of Boise State's hosting their fall camp press conference. And so you don't get to use all of your content necessarily from Mountain West Media Days, or you just have to shove a lot of it down into the season for when you play the set opponent that you visited with at Media Days. So now we're going to have just a lot of time to, make sure that we air all that content and get everybody, geared up and ready to go for football season. And so excited for that, I guess.
I agree with that. And final thing here, Jay, just want to say congratulations on your anniversary. Was it yesterday or today?
Yesterday. 7 years, man.
7 years. And 7 years ago last night, this photo was taken.
Yeah.
And look at the crew here. You got Johnny Ballgame, Dave Southern, me, you got Alex Gold, Joey Jenkins. There was another one with you and your lovely wife Camille in there that I didn't pop up on the feed right away, so this was the one that I grabbed. But heck of a time. Again, only wedding I'll probably ever attend, where literally the bride and groom took off in a helicopter. But it was the video of you rapping. I think I played that at some point on the show because I was down in Vegas when the actual what was the gentleman's name? The rapper that actually sings the song.
Was that Run DMC?
It might have been. I forget who it was, but he was performing on Fremont Street the last time I was in Vegas, and I had the Jay Tust version and the actual version that you did. That was a move of all moves to literally rap to your wife in front of the entire wedding party.
Hey, when it's your wedding, you just want to have fun, right? Man, I can't believe 7 years ago. What a fun media group that we had at that point. I mean, we still got a fun media group, but that was a lot of fun with Joey and Gold back doing their show. And Mallory was probably in LeGrand at that point in time. I can't remember did we get him to come back over for that, or was he still over at the old stomping grounds?
He came back over and he crashed at my house, and I can't reveal the full story on air of that weekend. But John Mallory crashed at my house that weekend, no doubt.
Johnny Ballgame, and then our boy Dave Southern too. So yeah, that was an awesome evening celebrating with family and friends.
That was fun. Yeah, that was awesome. That was and you weren't related. That was just a random place you rented out for the party, right? Or did you know somebody at their house? That's somebody's backyard, but it was awesome.
Yeah, and he was such a nice guy, because I mean he had this mansion. I mean it was like a castle on the river. I mean it was the coolest house. And originally he said that we couldn't use the house. And we got there and he was like, nah, just go through the house. It'll be a better entrance. And we were like, amazing. And so
wasn't there flooding or something too? It was maybe going to be closer to the water or something.
There was it's right along the Boise River. And so there was some flooding that kind of washed out a lower tier that we were really going to utilize. And it just kind of shifted on the property, where and what we were going to use. And I'm not gonna lie, it worked out for the best. The flooding was unfortunate, awesome. But it actually worked out in our favor, because it brought us closer to his really, really cool house, and he allowed us to use it to for our entrance and other things. So
I should have done better. I should have done a better job of having that clip ready of the rap again. But I'm going to save you. I don't have it, so you're lucky.
Or that lives in our memories, whatever.
7 years though, man, that's crazy. You and Camille, congratulations, 7 years.
I mean, you guys are longer than us, though, aren't you?
We're at over 11, yeah.
11?
Yeah.
Man.
We got married like 6 months after I moved to Boise. So, I mean, we've been pretty much married the entire time we've been in Boise. So about 11 years.
Gosh, Karen is a freaking angel.
You didn't even come back to St. Louis for my wedding, man. I was pretty disappointed by that.
I didn't know you then?
For a couple months. Yeah, I think you knew about half football season. But wasn't
that's right. You went during your first football season.
It was during the bye week. Yep.
Unreal.
We already had it all planned and everything because I was covering the Cardinals doing baseball, and so usually that's when you want to do it, is in November. And we just had it planned, and then when the football schedule came out, it happened to be the same week I think as the bye week already, so we decided to just stick with it, just fly back for the week, and then waited till like the summer to do our honeymoon. After everything had calmed down, we had moved in, which I actually really recommend.
Didn't you start mid-season though?
Nope, I started like in April.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I started mid spring camp.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking
If
of.
Boise State would have beaten LaSalle, my first ever event covering them would have been in Kansas City, covering them against in the first round of the tournament.
Yeah, but LaSalle shot like 64.7.
I was at a restaurant/sports bar in Jupiter, Florida, at Cardinals spring training, watching that LaSalle game, knowing that I had already accepted the job and was coming up there, and I knew that if they won the game on my drive to Boise from Florida, stopping in St. Louis to get all my stuff and my clothes, I was going to stop in Kansas City and cover them in the tournament. That didn't happen. Yeah. You going to go down the Boise River? Somebody wants to know.
Me?
Yes.
I don't know, man. We're with these early media days, I feel like they cut summer short, so we're kind of looking on to the next thing. Yes. But
all right, we could go all day here, Jay. Appreciate you as always.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for checking us out. Again, congrats to you and Camille. 7 years, that is awesome. 2 healthy kiddos. Happy for you guys. So hope you guys you had a nice dinner, so you don't have to say where, but it looked like you guys, at least I saw on Instagram or somewhere, you guys had a chance
not often we spoil ourselves like that. Best steak I've ever had.
Good for you, man. That's great. All right, so we'll be talking to Jay. I don't know about Friday yet, Jay. We'll see what kind of mood I'm in the next day or two. I'm leaning towards saying no show Friday and making you work extra down in Vegas. But we'll discuss that off air. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of our sponsors. Thanks to everybody for coming on, and we will look for more information on this Blake Anderson situation and figure out everything else that's going on. But tomorrow morning, Johnny Mallory and I just got the text, Jay, so I can, you're respectful about it. When me or my wife forget to Venmo you for the month, you don't say anything. Johnny likes to call it out pretty much regularly, but he does it in ways where, like, I'm going back literally the last couple of texts. He says, happy 1st of April. And then I said, we already paid you. Shut up. And then the one that I just got at 9:47 says July 2nd, 2 more days until the 4th, which is his subtle way of saying it's July 2nd. And I think I forgot to Venmo him.
That's hilarious.
You must be owed a Venmo as well. So we'll get that to you as soon as the show ends here.
You're too funny.
Appreciate you guys for checking us out. Have a great rest of your day. Johnny and I will be back tomorrow. And Media Day is a week from today. Crazy to think about it. We'll be in Vegas getting you going. So have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.